nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication.
Alright, everybody, and welcome to the Swiss Army Nerd Sports Corner. This is your host, John Sturker, and my co-host,
Stephen Cockerham.
Yes.
And this is the flagship show.
Yes.
Let's not be all confused. I mean, the nerd one is good, it's fun, it's entertaining, but let's be real. Let's be real for a minute.
I love it. I love when my podcasts compete. I love both equally. They're like my kids. But, yes, this is definitely the sports flagship. So we just got done with the other nerdgasm, as I like to call it. And now we get into the juicy stuff. I mean, NFL season's here.
It is.
So I think all of us, well, all of us should be, but definitely us, as you can see, repping our teams, are super excited about this. It's good to be back. But first, we're just going to dive into some NBA, get that done real quick. There's not a ton to talk about because we're still in that off season. But, so I thought this was interesting. Shaq's ex-wife said Kobe offered to train their son, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's cool.
I mean, I don't know why you would ever decline that. No. If Kobe's going to train you, take it, because he'll teach you that Mamba mentality. But I think that's pretty cool. I wonder if that was when they had their beef or whatever, though. What?
It's possible.
It'd be pretty cool.
There's, like you said, who would turn that down? Like, that's crazy.
I wonder. I am curious. We've talked before about is Shaq's kids going to make the NBA and stuff like that. I think they will. I think just off their names alone. I don't think they'll ever live up to their father's legacy, though.
There's no way.
They'll never be another Shaq Diesel. They won't
Nope.
be. But I thought that was cool that they declined that. Came out, talked about Kawhi Leonard. Apparently he's doing great things in Toronto. He seems happy, content. They're confident he's going to re-sign.
No.
No fucking way. If he re-signs, he's like Paul George of the East.
You know why he's playing well. One, he wanted out of the Spurs. Let's be real. Something happened in that organization between Kawhi and the Spurs.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll ever find out, but there was definitely a crack in the foundation.
There'll be a 30 for 30 about it.
But the reason Kawhi's going to come out, because he's good. Let's just face it. He's win healthy, top 5 in the league.
Yeah.
But he's also, in my opinion, this might be biased because I'm a Lakers fan, but he is auditioning for the Lakers this year. This is what he's doing. Like, I've said this last week. I said it the week before. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi gets traded mid-season to the Lakers, so then the Raptors don't just lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
Because they can get a lot for him. And that's fine, because when we get Durant, too, we'll have LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, and Kevin Durant on the Lakers.
Be nasty. That squad right there would be disgusting. I think you're right. I think if I was Toronto, I wouldn't even be playing this game. I would sit Kawhi down and I'd say, do you want to stay here? Are you going to sign a deal? And if he says, I don't know, trade him, period. If he doesn't say anything but yes, trade him. Because you can't play games like this. You can't lose everything. It's dumb. You have Kawhi, you could get 3 solid role players. And then you only need one superstar, and it doesn't have to be Kawhi. You can draft superstars. They come out every year. Ben Simmons, Embiid, you name it. They all come out. Guy that was in Utah this year, I can't remember his name. He played amazing. Stars can be grown, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But you got to get your role players and your pieces. So if I were Toronto's management, I would say, okay, are you going to stay? I don't know. Bye. Just go. Because the Lakers have pieces I would take. I don't know if they would take it. I mean, they would definitely trade Lonzo.
But they'd actually probably
Kuzma.
pay the Lakers to keep Lonzo.
Yeah.
The Kuzma, that's the one I'm worried about, because I think Kuzma is going to be incredible. I don't think he's going to be a Kobe. I don't think he's going to be a Wade. I don't think he's going to be a LeBron. But I think he's going to be one of those players in the top 10, top 15 in the league.
Yeah.
And I would love to keep him. If we can keep, best case scenario, we get LeBron, Kawhi, and keep Kuzma, I'd be ecstatic. Anyone else can go. Like, the Lakers should pay anyone to take Lonzo, because I'm sorry, I know I have a friend that's a Ball fan, but I'm sorry, the dude's a bust. He's not going to get better.
Yeah.
Like, I know people are thinking, oh, he'll be fine this year. You watch, he'll show you. No, he's done. He's got the. I thought, like, up until he came into the league, Hall of Famer. I love him, but I thought Dirk Nowitzki had the ugliest shot in basketball. Not anymore. Lonzo, like I don't. It's like he broke his wrist when he was younger and it never fully healed right. But it's horrible. So
No, I agree. I think Lonzo's a bust. I think anyone with a brain cell could be able to say that. Could he get better? Sure, but he's not going to take Rondo's job.
no.
But that's actually a good segue to the Kawhi thing. They buy out Deng, Luol Deng.
Yep.
And they're clearing the way, it looks like, for KD to sign a supermax contract. Every report that comes out, KD's hanging out with LeBron, they're training, da-da-da-da. I think KD goes to the Lakers. I think that's good for his legacy. I think him playing with LeBron evens the playing field, and people might disagree with that, but KD is not Superman. He can't go to another team by himself and lead it. We live in ever since, I would say, the big three in the Spurs era, you need people. You need big threes. You need big twos at least. You know, Kobe and Shaq were so good they could do big twos, but you're not doing it alone.
Nope.
I love the idea of KD going to the Lakers. I think he'd have a shot at redoing his legacy, and I'd love to see KD, LeBron, and shit Kawhi or Jimmy Butler or just another third piece go against the Warriors. Because that's a lot of psychology. Psychology makes good stories.
I tell you right now, if they get KD, say worst case scenario, we get KD, we don't get Kawhi, I think the squad the Lakers have, if they get KD along with LeBron and those young up-and-comers, I think you could make a case that Lakers could give the Warriors a hard time. Am I going to say they're going to beat them? Maybe not, but between KD and LeBron James alone, there's a very good chance they could at least make a 7-game series.
Absolutely. With that, you have to think about LeBron being able to drive the paint. Nobody's going to stop him in the paint. And let's say they start double, triple teaming him. That leaves KD wide open on the wing, and he nails him. He's a freaking assassin. So, yeah, I think they'd put up a run. But the third one, forget about it. You keep Kuzma. You get like one solid big man to get point on. You got stuff to do.
Yep.
You can make it happen. Moving on from that, everyone's, we're getting geared up for the NBA season. So some of the names that you should keep an eye out for, Anthony Davis, Pelicans. Mm-hmm. People are saying this is his MVP year. I think he's right on the edge of that. Bradley Beal for the Washington Wizards. Joel Embiid in the Philadelphia 76ers. They're predicting a breakout year, possibly MVP also. Victor Oladipo for the Pacers. He was incredible. He played LeBron. Obviously, they went 7 games, ended up losing it, but still, they gave LeBron a run for his money. LeBron didn't have any help, but Victor was really good. Milwaukee Bucks, I think it's Giannis. I'm not even going to say his last name, the Greek freak, basically. He's supposed to be the next MVP. There's a lot of good young kids. LeBron and that kind of, and the KDs and the Westbrooks and stuff are kind of, they're still the best players in the league. But there's a new wave coming, which is really exciting.
A new era, which is weird to think about.
I know.
We've been in the LeBron, Wade, Kobe era
since 2003.
Yeah,
15 years.
It's crazy to think that it's over. Like,
it's coming to an end.
Well, yes, it's not over, but I mean, 5 years or so?
They're all gone.
They're gone.
The 03 team, yeah. I mean, there may be 1 or 2 left. Like, speaking of that, D-Wade is probably going to play one more season.
Did he say? I've been reading stuff saying
we don't know.
He's
thinking.
Yes.
So, but D-Wade is probably my all-time favorite next to LeBron. I've always loved Dwayne Wade. He's the reason I'm a Heat fan. Seeing him go is going to hurt. I do think he's made his legacy. He's got 3 rings. 3 rings. Yeah, he's got 3 rings.
Yep.
He did his job. He was the Flash for a while. I mean, he did it.
I feel your pain. Like, I was a Kobe fanatic, and I knew the last couple of years, like, man, I'm gonna wake up one morning and there's gonna be a ESPN alert saying Kobe Bryant retires.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't know what to do. Like, for the longest time, it's been Wade. Like, when you think of basketball, you think of Dwayne Wade. When I thought of basketball, I thought of Kobe Bryant. Like, I loved watching him, and then it's like, it's gone.
Yeah, the idea of the Heat gearing, like when he left for Chicago for that year, it was very difficult for me to watch those games because it just didn't feel right. It was like, I don't know, it was just
he didn't look right in any other jersey but a Heat jersey.
Correct.
Like,
I'm glad he's back with Heat. I say give him a solid year or whatever, but I hope he plays one more and then he's out. Speaking of old school people, Boogie Cousins, it looks like he's gonna be back in time for at least the playoffs. So everything's going good. Very serious injury, so that's always good. Chris Bosh,
Don't want him.
opening, he wants to join the Lakers.
Don't want him.
There's no way he can. One, he's still under contract with the Heat. Two, he's got blood clots, and it's just dumb because one thing goes wrong, he could die.
Yep.
So I don't understand what his. I get it. You love basketball, dude. I get it, man. I understand it. But hindsight, man, you got kids. Just you made your money. He signed like $100 million thing with the Miami. I mean, he got a ton of that guaranteed. So just you did your part, man. You'll probably maybe end up in the Hall of Fame. You got some rings. Like you're good,
Yep.
man. So that's it for NBA news.
Well, hold on.
We want to talk Clay?
Yeah, we can do Clay.
Okay.
I just have a fun one I want to ask you.
All right, let's do fun one and then we'll do Clay.
Just because I'm curious now, because LeBron has left,
Yes.
and Cleveland is now the laughingstock of the NBA.
Yes, they are.
85 games. How many do they win?
82 games.
Or 82, sorry.
That's fine.
How many do they win?
18.
Yeah, you're close. I'm going to give them 21.
18. Yeah, I'd say between 18 and 25. I don't think Kevin Love is a leader. I don't think he can get it done.
He's never been a leader.
I think Kevin Love will have the best season of his career, but I don't think that correlates to wins. I think he's the number one option now. Obviously, his
Which
points
is
go up.
Scary.
I know his points go up, his rebounds go up, his assists. He's gonna look like $1 million, and they should considering how much they paid him. But they're not gonna win more than 25 games. There's no way they make the playoffs. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think. I think Tyronn Lue or whatever, the coach.
Tyronn Lue.
He wasn't really the coach. I think LeBron was, and he just carried him along. He just liked LeBron, and LeBron liked him. That's my opinion. Maybe it's controversial. That's my opinion. I think they get wrecked. I think barely 20 games, if not 20 games.
The Clay thing.
Yes, we were talking about this at work.
I want to talk about this real quick. So apparently it was breaking news. Well, not really breaking news, but Luke Walton, who is obviously the head coach of the Lakers, and he spent time with Golden State.
Yep.
Apparently spent 4 days with Klay Thompson.
Yes.
You know he's recruiting.
Yeah.
You know it. So I want, for the 3 that are watching, who would you rather have? Klay Thompson or Kevin Durant?
See, it's a harder question than people think. Like
It is.
At first, you'd be, Kevin Durant, and then you have to think about the Luke Walton knowing Klay knowing Luke, knowing the system, playing better defense than any of them, and also being an absolute lethal shooter from the outside. How great would it be to see the Splash Brothers play each other? You know damn well the 3-point shooting competitions are amazing with them. The idea of him going and joining the dark side with Luke Walton, and you have Luke Walton, the Padawan versus the Master and Kerr, and then
that'd be crazy.
I would take Klay. I said this at work. I would take Klay. I think Klay can shut it down on the defense, and he's also one of those people. He's got the record. He scored 42 points in 1 quarter.
It's crazy.
Durant's good, but he ain't that good. And Durant gets triple teamed. Klay doesn't. So.
And Klay he's not as good as Steph, but you can triple team him, and he's got such a quick release it doesn't matter.
He could be as good as Steph though, but Steph's the number one option. So
Yep.
you give Klay, and plus LeBron's going to share that ball. And give him looks.
I think LeBron's going to share the ball a lot this year.
I think
he's got nothing to prove. I mean, clearly he wants to bring a title back to LA, or as our colleague Stephen A says, La La Land.
Yes.
He wants to bring a title back, but I don't think you're going to see the LeBron James that you saw last year in Cleveland.
No.
I think you're going to see he's going to get his points. He's going to get 25, 28 points, but you're going to see him pass the ball a lot. I don't think he wants to do that to his legs.
I think he's going to have at least he might average 10 assists a game, because I know he's going to want his young squad to get better. That means they have to have the ball in their hands and make the right decisions, and he can set them up for that. I think you're going to see LeBron emulate, and he can, and almost better than Magic. He's going to emulate Magic Johnson. He's going to be in LA, in La La Land, and he's going to make it happen with that team. And it's not gonna be another situation where he's dragging that team. He's gonna make them work, make them get better, I think you're going to see a very special LeBron. And the idea of that special LeBron, that magic LeBron, passing it to Clay like no one on the Warriors can do, that's scary. Both, it's a win-win. If you get both, it's over.
You get both.
It's over. But if I were picking, I'd pick Clay. It's just my opinion.
I'd probably take Clay.
Yeah. I like Clay too. I'm not a huge KD fan, but he's also too small. I don't think KD's too small. All right, so let's get into the juicy stuff. NFL. We've been dying to talk about this.
I'm gonna let you start because as soon as it happened, it didn't take long for you to text.
No,
so I'm gonna let you take the wheel on this one.
I have a lot of issues right now. And honestly, it begins and ends with John Gruden. I can't begin to express how much of a failure of a coach this man is. He goes and robs the Oakland Raiders of $100 million guaranteed when he hasn't coached since, 03. Takes that money from Raiders. Oh, yeah, it's been at least that long.
I think he got released in 05.
Still, almost 10 years.
Yeah, I get it.
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years.
Almost 15 years. Anyway, he takes that money, says he's going to build a franchise, says he's got these big plans, this. He gets hired, and not even within 2 months does he get a hold of Mack and discuss anything. Khalil Mack, if people don't know, is arguably the first or second best defensive player in the league. That's arguable. I would say he's number one. Aaron Donald's great, but Khalil Mack does special things, and he changes the scheme of the entire game. He doesn't even talk to Mack for 2 months, then talks to him and says, talk to the GM about your contract. It's not my problem. Actually quoted saying that. It goes on. Then, a week before it starts, Mack hasn't showed up because he wants to negotiate. A day before what happens, Aaron Donald signs 140 mil or 139 mil or something.
Yeah.
An unbelievable contract, 87 mil guaranteed for the Rams. He gets paid. Bang. Best defensive player, second best defensive player gets his money. That team didn't want to lose him. The Rams were willing to pay up. Rams, mind you, are paying Namakatsu millions. Other defensive players, tens of millions. One of literally the most expensive line in football. They're paying them that. The Raiders, on the other hand, John Gruden, on the other hand, decide not to pay Khalil Mack, and they let him go for 2 first-round picks from Chicago. That's what they get. That's all they got is 2 first-round picks in the next couple of years, and then like a conditional 5th-round pick. Gruden should be fired and barred from Oakland and eventually Las Vegas. He should be ashamed of himself. Anyone who says this was a good decision is an idiot. They could have paid him the same amount the Bears paid him, and they still would have been just as fine. That defense would have been the same amount of nasty. But now you have Derek Carr, who's injury-prone, with a couple of decent receivers and an old running back, and that's going to be what you hang your hat on. Gruden just shot himself in the foot, and he doesn't care. He should be barred from Oakland and Las Vegas for what he did to that franchise. This is a once-in-a-lifetime player. To do that, this is like the Steelers saying, "Nah, we don't need Antonio Brown," or the Patriots saying, "No, in the prime of Gronk's career, we don't need Gronk." No, Detroit, we don't need Barry Sanders. We don't need Stafford. Any of it. We don't saying we don't need Brees. That's the equivalent. But because he's a defensive player, it doesn't look that way. Gruden's a piece of shit. I have no respect for that man. I hope they go 0-16 because he in that franchise were dumb enough to let that man walk. I hope the Bears play Oakland. I'm not sure if they do. I hope they do, and I hope he murders Carr.
Pretty sure they do.
Because Gruden did this. This is Gruden's fault. And he had a press conference, and all he did was say, "No, I had nothing to do with it. There's nothing I could do. He wasn't going to show up. He wasn't going to do this. He wasn't going to do that. It was the best decision, but it wasn't my decision." Fuck that. You would have paid the man, he would have showed up, and he would have produced. It's a joke. Pay the man. It's $1 billion industry. Do you know how much they made from the Las Vegas deal? Billions. You could have paid Mack. You could have paid Mack, and now you're not going to have a solid defense, and you're never going to find another Mack. They don't just grow on trees. They're once in a lifetime. They're like the Watts. They're like Aaron Donalds. They're like when Ndamukong Suh started it with the Lions. They're that fucking good. If you're a Raiders fan, you shouldn't support Gruden. You should be calling for his head on a pike. I don't care what his legacy is. You don't do that. That'd be like if the Detroit Lions cut Stafford or traded him instead of paying them a couple of years ago. You're idiots. But I bet you this, if Khalil Mack played QB, they would have paid him. It's bullshit.
All right, relax. Take a breather. Find out if Chicago and the Raiders play.
Yeah, I'll look that up.
Well, before I start, Josh, you just jumped on. I'm sorry, because you just missed an amazing rant. You're going to have to go back and watch this, because 5 stars to Mr. Host over here.
Thank you.
Alright, so my opinion, I pretty much agree with John and everything, which is weird because anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge Gruden fan. And when Gruden was contemplating coming back, I was praising him. I wanted him back. I love the guy. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, or did. But as our colleague, once again, Stephen A. says, come on, man, what are you doing? Like, I agree 100% everything John says. Like, Khalil Mack is arguably the best defensive player in the league right now. Like, he's a beast. He was a beast coming out of college. Like, how you let someone like that walk away is just stupid. Like, I get it, you're John Gruden, you're the Holy Grail, whatever. But to let someone walk like that is just absolutely asinine. Like, I can't believe, like, that defense was built around Khalil. Like, he ran that defense, and you got rid of it.
He was a general.
I get it. You came out there, and you said you had nothing to do with it, and you weren't involved in the whole conversation. Bullshit. You're the head coach of that team. I don't care if it's you only have 20% of the say. You still had say in it, and you should have come out and said, no way in hell are we letting this guy walk. So I feel sorry for you if Chicago plays you this year, because Khalil, I bet you, I'm going to call it right now, he's going to get at least 4 sacks. He's going to destroy. It makes no sense. Dumbest move you've ever done. Am I going to say you need to be fired? No. There's been a lot of dumb plays before. But as John said, that'd be like the Lions not like trading Stafford. It'd be like the Bucks trading Warren Sapp in his prime. Like,
yeah. No, that's a great way to put it.
It's just stupid. Like, I can't defend you. You're one of my favorite coaches, but here's your sign, man. Like,
that's the best way to put it. Right there.
You made a huge mistake, and if I'm a Raiders fan, I'd be pissed. Like, I'd be burning Chucky dolls right now, because you're gonna be regretting this for a long time. For every Raiders fan out there, I'm sorry, because
they're lucky
you're gonna be seeing Khalil Mack all over NFL and going down as one of the best defensive players ever to play the game. He's going to go down as, like a Thurman Thomas or a Ronnie Lott, and you just let him go for 2 first rounds. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, honestly, I hope Khalil Mack goes and just eats everyone's babies. I hope he destroys everyone. I hope he's better than Aaron Donald. I hope he earns every bit of that $141 million, $97 million guaranteed. What's up?
I don't think so. I'm not watching sports, Josh. He says Steelers trading Bell.
Oh, no. Oh, are they? He's probably asking.
I'm hoping. They're gonna.
I think they're gonna have to. Le'Veon already said.
He's leaving.
He hasn't showed up for camp, not once yet.
He's leaving.
Yeah.
If the Steelers are smart, they trade him and get it. You can easily get at least a first round. You ain't gonna get 2 first rounds for him, because running backs, you hit 26, 27.
It's 26 right now, yeah.
That's your supposedly decline. I'm not going to say all running backs do that, but that's the year of decline.
Yeah.
So you ain't going to get 2 first rounds for him, but I can tell you right now.
1 round.
Yeah, you'll get a first round, but Le'Veon Bell will not be suiting up for the Steelers next year. He's gone. And I'm hoping to God Tampa goes after him. I don't care if he's 26, if it be 27, I'll take him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's if they let Le'Veon walk. Well, one, they're idiot franchise. They're an idiot franchise for not paying him, because.
Oh, Patrick says hello.
Hi, Patrick.
Welcome to the flagship.
They're idiots for not paying him in the first place. He's once in a lifetime running back, and that might sound dramatic, but I'm telling you right now, he's hitting his prime with how he plays. He's not a run and gun. hit nose to the grind, smash, and he's not like that. He can play like this for years.
That's what he meant. He retired. He said it's like the Steelers trading Bell.
Yes, absolutely.
Agree with that 100%.
Yeah, which they're actually going to do. Listen, I get it. NFL is a business, but to let Mac... okay, yeah, they got 2 first-round picks, but you're not going to find a fucking Mac. You can look at the college games right now, and there's no... Mac was huge.
You get a player like that once every, 6-7 years.
Absolutely, and every legend of the sport said that. Deion Sanders said it. Barry Sanders even said it. Kurt Warner said it. All of these guys said it. Get off the phone. I'm trying to look up if he was playing Oakland. Anyway, you don't let that guy go.
Nope.
You just don't. You pay the man because he's earned it. I hope he has a 25 sack season. I really do. I hope he goes off because he got his money. He deserves that money. He's just made the Bears probably number 3 in my division, and he's going to put the fear of God into these QBs. I tell you, they made a huge mistake. The Raiders were right there for a Super Bowl contender, and I promise you they will not win that division. I'm predicting maybe 5 games. Carr's great, sure, but he's injury prone.
Only winning 5?
Only winning 5.
I'll give him more than 5, but
Nope,
they ain't winning
I'm
that
saying
division.
5.
I agree with you.
I'm telling you, the morale, Carr is upset that he left.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad. He's going to be pissy at Gruden, and Gruden is not a coach that is going to exist in this league, and I guarantee you that. Everyone thinks that he's going to be Gruden of old. The game has changed. The only coach that can go with this change, his name is Belichick. And he earned that. And he also has the most intelligent player of all time, Tom Brady, there to help him go through the guide of the game's changing. Gruden's not going to do that. The reason I know he won't do that is because he's too stubborn to even talk to Khalil Mack because he's a defensive player and he doesn't believe in defensive players being important. Even though nowadays they absolutely are.
Which is weird because when he played for the Bucs, we had the number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah, but back then I think the defensive scheme was just different. But now look at the Broncos. They won with Peyton. He had a half an arm. But that defense was so good. Gruden, I don't think understands that. I predict 5 wins, if not less. Because I'm telling you, the ripple this is going to have. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone in a couple of years. They blew their Super Bowl chances. And maybe that's dramatic, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's exactly how I feel right now.
He won't be gone in a couple of years just strictly because the Raiders' ownership are stubborn, and they're not going to want to admit that they were wrong and signing him to that contract. Gruden's going to play out his contract. I guarantee it. There's no way that the Raiders organization is going to bite that bullet and say, yeah, we were wrong. He's gone. They're going to pay that man until his contract's up.
Yes.
And then I agree with you on he will not be an Oakland Raider coach by the end of his contract. They're not going to re-sign him. Unless by some miracle something happens and they get to the Super Bowl and they win a Super Bowl, then yeah, he's fine. But his legacy will be fine. Like all the haters will come out and say, see, they traded him, but they still made it to the Super Bowl. But that ain't going to happen.
I think and this is what's great about football, if Gruden comes out and I have to eat crow on this show, I'll be fine with that. Because how Gruden makes this work, if he can, then everything I've heard about him in the 03 years of him being one of the best to ever do it will be true. Let's see. He made himself a lot bigger of a target. So that's why I'm putting him on blast. He's an idiot. That franchise is an idiot. They're all idiots. They made a huge mistake. And same with Pittsburgh. They're making a huge mistake. Because once Le'Veon goes, there's cracks in the seams, man. That's how it works. What happened with Legion of Boom, man. They let their ego. They stopped trying to pay people. They just were trying to get wishy-washy, and it broke up. And now they'll never see a Super Bowl for the next 20 years. Anyway, that's my Khalil Mack spiel. I wanted to say that since this happened. It's very upsetting. I think it's an idiot. I do think it's obvious the Aaron Donald deal had a lot to do with it because there's no way Mack was going to take less because Mack is probably as good, if not better, than Donald. And he deserves more. He only got like $2 million more, but still, he should have paid him. Speaking of Oakland, while we're still on it, Martavius Bryant was released because it looks like he's going to get popped for weed again, which I think this is going to be a 16-game suspension.
Yeah, he's going to be gone for the year.
Yeah, so he's the new Josh Gordon. Speaking of Josh Gordon, he's doing fantastic, looking like the Flash. I can't wait to see the Browns play. I really can't.
That's awesome. Thanks, Chris.
What?
You heard it here first, everyone. Gruden's an idiot.
He is. He is. Before we go on from Oakland, those pieces of shit, Gurley's very happy he doesn't have to face Mack anymore.
I'm sure.
Out of his division.
As an offensive player in that division, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, as a Detroit fan, I'm terrified. I protect Stafford, please.
And imagine being an offensive lineman in that division, and you got to cover Khalil.
Imagine having a week to prep, because the Bears play. They play Green Bay, so that means they went to Green Bay. Rodgers, you just got hurt. Protect him. So yeah, that's we'll see where that goes. Enough with Oakland. Fuck Oakland. I hope they have a horrible season now. I am salty about that.
You don't say.
We went over Le'Veon not being at practice. Don't blame him. You're not going to pay him. Why would he show up? Broncos cut Paxton Lynch.
Yep.
I thought that was surprising because they don't exactly have a ton of depth.
No. They have no depth. They have Case Keenum.
I think he ends up going to the Bills. Funny enough, I do predict that. And I think he'll actually be better than Peterman, in my opinion. But I haven't seen a ton of Paxton play. I just think he's got a lot of good size, and you can build around him. They're sitting Jared Allen, the Bills.
Yeah, which is smart. I get it. You don't got much options, but look at all the teams that rush quarterbacks that were awesome in college. I'm not going to say amazing because I don't think he was that amazing in college.
He wasn't.
RG3, perfect example. I mean, RG3 did great. He got hurt and they didn't sit him. But I'm talking coming out of college, supposed to be phenoms, and then you rush them and they just shit the bed. Perfect example of what to do. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 6 years.
Tom Brady.
Brees
even sat.
Yes. You just...
All the greats do.
I get it. You get excited, and I know Buffalo's excited because, this guy's supposed to be amazing. Be patient. Why would you want to rush it and get him out there? Either get him hurt or just let him sit.
Or shake his confidence. Peterman. They rushed him. They threw Peterman out there. He threw 5 interceptions in a game, wasn't it? It was bad.
Yeah. We watched that together. It was fantastic.
That's right. It was amazing, actually. But I agree with their decision to sit him. It's smart, especially their offensive line looks horrible.
Yep.
I thought a really cool question. Which wide receiver would you build around? You don't have a QB. You can't pick your QB. But let's say you have a wide receiver. With any of them besides obviously the legacy ones. We'll do the current ones.
I'm gonna go with the number 1 wide receiver in the league and AB.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's a solid pick. He's always shows up to work. I don't think he's been injured.
No.
If he has, very minimal. I would say AB's got to be up there. Fortunately, because Odell, I can't pick Odell just because he did get injured and he has that off-field stuff.
This is a huge year for Odell. He just got that contract. He better come out and he better stay off of social media and he better be a nun this entire season.
I will say this. I would have picked Calvin Johnson if things didn't go the way they went. Because that dude, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, absolutely.
But if he had a better team, he would have been one of the best to ever do it. Calvin was huge. He was like LeBron of the NFL.
He had the coolest nickname too ever.
Megatron. Come on, man. But yeah, I would probably pick him. That's a little biased though. AB is obviously a beast, but before we move on from the Bills, it looks like McCoy's going to play.
Yep.
Regardless of the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. They better hope it doesn't bite him in the ass. We talked a little bit about RG3, and he actually made a roster. He's on the Ravens.
He's on the Ravens.
Yep. And the Eagles have named Nick Foles as their starter.
What is he talking about?
What's up?
Chris, what are you talking about?
What's he saying?
He said Fitz, and then he said, although Fitz is getting old.
Fitzpatrick?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. So, clarify, please.
He's on the Bucs.
He's on the Bucs. He's starting for 3 games. I don't know.
I'm not sure either. You got to fill us in.
Yeah, fill us in, please. Anyways, keep going.
I actually have a cool thing. I don't know if we're gonna do much WWE today. We're kind of in a weird lull.
Yeah.
So I actually came up with some cool ideas because who doesn't like an argument? So I wanted to discuss. It'll be a little bit of NBA and NFL. So we'll do NBA first.
Oh, Fitzgerald. Receiver from.
Oh yeah. So basically, what we're gonna do is we're either gonna agree or disagree. I have no idea what you're gonna say. That's the point. You don't really need a lot of prep. It's just opinions. So.
Yep.
Kobe versus Shaq. Who do you think is better all time?
Kobe.
Now you gotta say why.
because Shaq, all he could do was paint. Kobe could do paint and could shoot from the perimeter.
Not threes that well. He could shoot threes.
I
but it
just
was
think when you come down to
27%.
it, Kobe has that, as we call it, the Mamba mentality, and Kobe, you're gonna be hard pressed to take Kobe out. Like I'm just sorry. Like
See this. That's why I actually picked this.
Shaq is one dimensional.
No,
he's pass the
you're
ball
crazy.
and he's gonna
No.
dunk it on your face. That's it.
It's not about dimensions. It's about Shaq was so goddamn good at that one thing that he didn't need anymore to his game. He didn't need to play defense because every single time they fed him in the paint, he could score. That right there, he is the most dominant center of all time.
I agree to that.
Period. He is. Nobody will ever emulate Shaq again. Kobe can be emulated. There can be another Kobe. It doesn't seem like that, but his game, maybe not anymore, actually. Okay, Kobe could have existed. If the game didn't change like it did with the Warriors, there could have been another Kobe. There will never be another Shaq.
That's who he picks. Remember we did the wide receiver
Who?
to build around?
Oh.
He picked Fitzgerald.
Oh, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I don't know if I would pick him. I think he's a great all-time receiver, but he's not explosive enough for me. AB scores touchdowns. Larry Fitzgerald just does little bits and pieces.
He
but
gets you to like the 5.
Yeah, but there's a reason he doesn't have a ring. Like, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't get it.
We had to fill that one in.
But, yeah, I would pick Shaq, only because I would take Shaq.
You're picking Shaq only because you're afraid that because Kobe, LeBron. That's the
No,
only reason you're
not
doing
at
it.
all.
It's the only reason you're doing it.
I wouldn't know how to build around Kobe because his mentality is special. It's unique, but I don't think it's like, I think he got blessed with a very good coach and very good team members. I think that you can't build around Kobe. I don't think Kobe was ever built around. I think Kobe was blessed that Shaq was there and that, oh my God, Steve Jackson?
Phil?
Phil Jackson. I can't believe I blanked on that. Phil Jackson was there to run the triangle, which is a pretty much flawless. It automatically makes the decisions for you. And the Andrew Bynums, who were so young that all he wanted to do was get fed. I think he was very gifted in that. I'm saying I couldn't pick Kobe in a lineup first, and I could pick Shaq first. I could put Shaq in my main person in my team, that if I was building a team, and I'm confident I could win.
I get what you're saying, because if you pick Shaq, you got the most dominant center of all time.
And
in
then
the
all you
paint,
need is pieces.
And then you just need pieces. I get it, but I
With
just
Kobe,
can't.
it's got to go through Kobe, and he's going to have great games where he makes 60-point games, and other times where he gets 12 points because he
So
misses 30
let's
shots.
change this up on you. LeBron or Shaq?
LeBron.
Bias.
No, I would pick LeBron.
Bias.
You can build around
People?
LeBron in
People?
any position.
Is he being biased?
No, you're crazy. That's not biased. It's that LeBron is the best to ever do it in almost every position but center, and that's because he hasn't moved to the center position yet. We don't even know how good he could be in one position because he plays all of them.
We need a paper towel. He's dripping.
Oh my God. The point is, I would pick LeBron, but Shaq would be a second pick. I've always liked Shaq.
Shaq would be my second pick.
I think Shaq is a person that you could build around, and I think that even though he had a big ego, and that was one of the reasons why him and Kobe had the messy breakup, I think that in certain scenarios he worked with other big, great competitors. Like he won a chip with D-Wade. He won a chips with Kobe, and he tried to win one with LeBron, but unfortunately he was way over the hill.
He was like
fat.
90.
Yeah, but I think Shaq, for me, and I'll admit Shaq is biased because I just loved his game. It was so simplistic, and I loved because it's like, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to make any free throws, and we're still going to win these games. I get it, though. Most probably logical people would pick Kobe, but I'm not going to. All right, so I wanted to do a big three because we talked about how the big three era is pretty much, it's over. All the big threes are done. So out of the three big threes, at least in our era, the Spurs big three, the Miami Heat big three, and the Boston big three. Which big three do you think
Spurs.
was the best? The Spurs? Is that because they won 5 chips?
No,
But, okay, without Popovich, would you say that they're still the best big three?
Yeah, because I get Popovich is probably like the second best coach to ever coach, but those three just mesh so well together. Like, when was there a time then you watched the Spurs play where you were just like, all right, these guys aren't on the same page?
That's true. But I think that's a Popovich type thing, though. I
Hi,
think
Leslie.
Popovich was the glue.
Leslie says hi.
Hi, Les. I picked Miami, obviously.
Bias.
I think that
Again.
they had the most talent. I think if D-Wade was younger, like 2 years younger and fully healthy, they would have won 4 in a row, no doubt. No doubt. But because D-Wade wasn't healthy, they didn't get that. I think the Spurs were as good as they were simply because of Popovich. I think if you would have took any of those big three and put them in their own franchises, they would have flopped. Except Duncan. Duncan was really good.
Duncan was a beast.
Yeah.
Duncan was the first,
I think we can all agree that Boston's big three is probably the most overrated.
Way
with
overrated.
Garnett,
Allen,
and
Pierce.
Pierce. Yeah, I think Pierce is a Hall of Famer in everyone's eyes but mine. Pierce obviously had a lot of points scored and stuff, but I hated his game. It was like a bootleg Kobe.
Yeah.
A less talented, less athletic Kobe.
That finals versus the Lakers when he got hurt and then left, and then 20 minutes later he come marching out, and I was like, all right, seriously?
Yeah, he had a flair for the dramatics.
Ridiculous.
I'm going to pick Miami just because of sheer talent.
And bias.
But it would go Miami, Spurs, and Boston obviously last. But I couldn't think of another big three trio. Because I guess you could have said Bynum, Gasol, and Kobe, but I don't think you could put that in the same
you couldn't
thing.
do that as a big three.
I saw this on Instagram, actually. Shaq posted it, and I actually wanted to ask this question. Who wins 3 versus 3? KD, LeBron, and Shaq versus Michael Jordan, Magic, and Kareem. I really like that question because I honestly, I don't know. Because most people, it's like, well, Jordan's on that. Like, if Aaron was here.
I get it. I agree with you, though, but it was like
Yeah, right? It's really
this
hard.
argument just doesn't go away. Like
No.
it's different eras. Like Michael Jordan era, you could literally knee someone in the groin. and
But
that's
Shaq
it.
played that era, so Shaq,
Yeah,
you know?
but you can't do that in the LeBron era.
No.
So like, LeBron runs up on Jordan in the paint. Jordan knees him in the groin. Like
I agree. It's a tough question. It's more like a when it takes place. I still think if it takes place in any era that Jordan's team's winning.
dude, I agree.
I like it though. It's interesting. I liked it because you saw a lot of youngins like, no, KD's team would win. KD LeBron's team.
Yeah.
And then you saw the ladder of it's like, no, any team Jordan's on wins. For once, I'm going to side with Jordan. I think Jordan's team would win.
I think Jordan's team would win.
And Kareem was one of the most dominant,
He was
is the
gnarly.
most dominant scorer of all time, and Magic is Magic. So, I would love that fictional crap. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So moving into football, it's kind of more versus. Who do you think has a better season, Aaron Donald or Khalil Mack? I mean, they both got the big money. They both have a lot to prove. They got these.
I'm going to go with Aaron Donald strictly on the fact that their defensive line is way better, and it's going to open him up easier to get to the quarterback opposed to the Bears. Let's face it, the Bears suck.
Yeah.
Like, their best weapon is Khalil Mack. Like, he's going to get doubled. You can't double team Aaron Donald because you got Ndamukong Suh on one side. It's just, I'm going to go Aaron Donald strictly because he's got more weapons to where they can't, their offensive line can't focus solely on Aaron Donald. Khalil Mack, they're going to put 3 guys on you, whoever you're playing, because that's it.
But, and this is where it gets interesting. See, with Mack, he's not really it's actually same with Donald, but Mack changed the game in a way Donald didn't, right? Like, Donald is a disruptor, right? Like, you know Von Miller? Von Miller's a sack machine, no doubt. But he was also a disruptor, like JJ. He would do that, the Watt swat. Khalil Mack's kind of like that, except he's more cerebral. He's not going to always try to go for a sack. He might just end up with the most tackles. And, yeah, Chicago looked horrible last year, but adding Mack and the fact that you're right, he's going to be double-teamed, if one of those other players steps up and is even half the player Mack is, they have to get double-teamed now. You know, the kind of player Mack is, I just feel like he's going to find a way to disrupt. And I'm one of those people where I think the heavier the burden, the more damage they're going to do, right? Like, that's the kind of person I think Mack is. When you're that good, somebody's going to say, like, just stop Mack and you win. I think for him, he's going to be like, okay, like JJ did. Okay, you want to triple team me? Fine, my other guy's going to get you, and then he gets you one, and then all of a sudden they have to shift off of Watt, and it's like, oh, okay, easy, slim pickings. That's what I see. I think Aaron Donald's going to have so much talent in that squad, he's not going to have to try as hard. That's my opinion. I think other people are going to pick up slack. I think Mack is going to be 100% nonstop.
So you're going Mack.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down.
I picked Mack.
We shall see.
I'm excited. I'm pumped to see. That's what's great. That I love good defense, so we both win. So.
Yeah.
What is the best QB wide receiver combo right now in the league? Because that's actually a lot trickier question because some of the best wide receivers have some of the QBs that are not so good anymore, like AB and Roethlisberger. Mm-hmm. Roethlisberger is an interception machine lately. He's lazy. He's great, all-time Hall of Famer, no doubt. But he's definitely on his way down. Same with Eli and Odell. Mm-hmm. And you got Matty Ice and Julio. But, Julio has injury problems, and sometimes Matty Ice isn't, he ices up, basically. So, I was thinking about this. You can't say Mike Evans and Jameis Winston because we don't even know if Winston's going to be playing. So, I don't know who you would pick. I mean, maybe AB Roethlisberger. But, I don't know. I'm not...
That's a tough one.
I think Roethlisberger's going to have a rough year, in my opinion. I think Cousins and Diggs is going to be a sleeper.
Diggs is going to be good. That's going to be a good one.
Stafford Tate is probably not going to be too bad. We'll see. It depends. We don't know how good.
You think he's a bum, but I think. Well, I don't think you think he's a bum. I just don't think you think you've said he's not as good as everyone makes him out to be. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers to Graham is going to be a good tandem.
I mean, we'll see. We've never had him have such a big tight end. Yeah. So maybe Rodgers just. This is a whole new world for him, and he just goes off. I mean, obviously, we can't... Even with the 4-game suspension, Edelman, Brady.
Yeah.
Nasty, man.
They're going to be nasty.
I think Edelman's going to come back. I know he had that ACL injury, but I think he's going to come back. He was obviously juicing, which means he's probably coming back healthier.
The go-to, in my opinion, is going to be Brady. Roethlisberger and AB.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think Roethlisberger's going to have a rough year.
I think Brady Gronk is a good pick because this is probably going to be one of Gronk and Brady's last years. So I think they're just going to go balls to the walls. So if I had to pick that's why I like that question. I think I would pick Gronk and Brady, just because Brady is still absolutely in his prime, and Gronk is still somewhat in his prime. If not in his prime, it's hard to tell with him. I feel like he just sometimes doesn't try, but. All I want is Brady and AB on the same team. That'd be so awesome. It'd be daggers, man.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
But I like that combo. And then the last question that I have for today is who's going to rule the roost, as I said in the context, Brees, Brady, or Rodgers? Those are the three. In my opinion,
it's got to be Brady strictly on rings.
I mean, I'm not talking GOAT right now. Like, now, obviously, Brady's GOAT.
Yeah.
I'm saying this year who has the better season.
Who has the better season?
There's a better season. Better QBR, better season.
You said Brady, Brees, and Rodgers?
Yes. Those are the three, man. That's right now, that's the Rushmore.
I'm going to say Rodgers.
I think so, too. I think Rodgers just got paid bank. I think Brady won MVP last year.
I love the guy, but I'm not going to pick against my own division, so I can't go Brees. Even though he's going to throw for 5,000
easy
all the time. But I think Rodgers is reinvigorated. Like, he got that nasty contract. Like, I think Rodgers is going to go out there and just have a blast.
I think Rodgers is a solid pick. I don't want Rodgers to be great. I want Mack to chew him up game one. But I definitely think that I don't know, for some reason I want to pick Brees because it's his time. He won a ring, he did. But I feel so bad for Brees, man. And he's got Kamara, or is that how you say Kamara? That's gonna be nasty. It's funny. 2 of the 3 best quarterbacks are in both of our divisions. But I can't count out Brady. Brady had an MVP season.
You can't count Brady out.
And he didn't have Edelman.
I'm going to say Rodgers, but I think Brady's going to be right on his heels.
Yeah. I think... Especially
when Edelman comes back. Him and Gronk, like...
Yeah. I want to see Brady go off. I love Brady haters. And plus, they murdered the Bulls. Or Bulls.
Bulls.
Wow. I wish they'd murder the Bulls, too. But the Bills, yeah, so go Brady, man. But I think I'm I'm pretty excited about this season.
It's going to be good.
It starts this Thursday.
Yep.
And then Sunday we really get
Eagles
the ball rolling,
versus Atlanta.
which is going to be a solid game. And then Detroit plays, oh my God, what am I blanking? The Ravens, I believe?
No, that's the Bills.
No, that's right. And I hope the Ravens win.
Bucks start out with a division versus Breeze.
That's right. That's going to be rough for you guys with no Jameis. When I can't think of who Detroit plays. I know we have a Monday night game. No, we don't have Packers. It's the Monday night game. I think it's Oakland. No, it's not Oakland. But either way, I got a Monday night game, which never fucking happens, so I'm super excited. I'm sure it's a mistake on their part, but we still have one. I think is it the Giants?
Is it this Monday?
Yep, it's this Monday. 7 p.m. I'm super excited for that. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, it's gonna. I'm just glad it's back.
It is back.
Totally honest.
It's awesome.
I was going stir crazy without it.
Yep.
I was watching nonstop highlights. I think everyone kind of is.
I've done that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Jets. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Donalds versus Stafford.
AGW. I'm calling it right now. We're going to win that game. And if we don't, yeah, I'm done. I can't. If we lose to the Jets after they kick Bridgewater off the bus, I can't. I just can't do it.
He's on the Saints now, too.
I can't do it. So, do you want to talk any WWE?
There's really nothing going on in WWE.
I mean, hope the Shield come back.
The Shield, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. It's interesting where the storylines are going, but there's not a whole lot there. So, next week, it's a week before Hell in a Cell, so we'll have a ton of juicy. We'll do a bigger WWE segment. And we'll be back to the NFL news, so that's exciting.
I got a new shout-out.
Ooh, what do we got?
I love you, Rock, but I'm going to give you a break and harassing you.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to shout out our colleague. We'll shout out Stephen A.
Stephen A. Smith, I like it.
He's got this new fancy studio in New York City. What better way to christen it than bringing up the Swiss Army Nerds?
Dude, that'd be cool, man.
Steve, how did you start? You're Steve, I'm a Steve.
Yeah, look, two Steves.
Like, you started out at the bottom.
Both balding.
And now you're all... That's not going to help.
He knows he's balding.
So you started up at the top. You started at the bottom, now you're at the top. So I'm just going to throw it out there. First take, I'm a huge fan. I watch it every day. You want to just shout us out? I would love it.
Sure. Hey, you know what? Here's a quick shout out to another one of Stephen A's contemporaries. Skip. I watched
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless did Kevin Hart's show when I get in the ice tubs.
Yep.
Fucking hysterical. I hate Skip, but I respect the shit out of Skip. Also, he's like 76. He's jacked. Skip. It's ridiculous. He's better shape than Kevin Hart. He's like 76.
That's crazy.
But I agree, Stephen A, dude. At least shout us out. Tweet us, man. I tweet you all the time.
Yeah, you can tweet.
He likes my tweets every once in a while, so he sees them. I know he sees them. Yeah, so we'll shout him out. But yeah, we'll be back with football next week. Hopefully we have the habanero contest.
That's not a contest. It's just Patrick, because we're a team here, and he hasn't done it yet. So.
It's true. So, yes, we have that. We're going to have the food challenge coming up eventually when we figure out the dynamics of that.
Oh, God.
We also have other stuff in the kennel, whatever. We have stuff coming. Super excited for it. I can't wait to get back and be able to talk football and actually talk it, not do this.
Next week we're going to be able to talk football.
Yes, and we can actually sink our teeth into it. So super excited. Hope you guys are excited too. Check us out on YouTube, Swiss Army Nerds. It's in my Instagram file, Swiss Army Nerds. It's in my Twitter, Swiss Army Nerds. You just got to click the link. And of course, it's on Facebook. We're going to post it later, all chopped up in bits. You'll be able to check it out. And if you have any subjects you want us to talk about, just keep tweeting, keep Instagram commenting, anything. Just let us know, man. Always happy to do it.
Yep.
All right. I think we're out of here. All right. Peace out.